Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the training aids we've been using and stuff. And the big one that has really helped you with your tempo and kind of freeing your swing up is an Orange Whip. It's a pretty simple device, but it's very useful. They have a lot of different additions that we've talked about. They've got an Orange Whip that's built to help you increase club head speed. We've used it a little bit, but I don't think that's the one that'll help you the most, right? The regular Orange Whip, it's got a lot of weight on this end. It's counterbalanced here, so it's a really heavy device. And it really kind of pulls us around into a nice full turn, which is one of the things we talked about a lot.
Right.
It worked really well for you because it really worked with that stretch that we talked about, right? When we talked about our backswing.
Right.
Right, we really want to get up here and kind of feel our body turn. We don't want to guide the turn, but we just want to let our body move. And the weight of this, it's really hard to try to guide it too much, especially once we get it moving.
Right.
And it really works. One thing we talked about is tempo, especially in transition. We really talked about having a nice, smooth transition from our backswing to our downswing. And this really helps us feel the weight of that, right? So go ahead and set up like you're going to go ahead and set up with the Orange Whip. Right, so go ahead and make a few swings and we can just really feel it right there.
Whoa.
Right?
And stiff.
Well, and it's always a good thing to do because if we don't always have time to warm up, this can help us create that nice smooth tempo that we maybe would get with a 20-minute warm-up session.
Right. And this will help me remember, or try to remember to keep my left arm straight.
Yeah. There you go. And then the other thing we talked about that helps, and again, it has to do with the weight of it because it's nice and heavy. It really helps us pull through and get into that nice weight, that nice finish position that we like with our weight forward.
Right.
Right, and it keeps things moving. Okay, and it's relatively low impact relative to us when we were trying to swing faster. Right, we did some trying to swing really fast, and we know that's a delicate, especially with your back. That can be very delicate, so we want to make sure we're not trying to do that too much. This is kind of a good medium to help us get some useful knowledge and useful feel, right? Feel something very elusive, right? What feels one way to you feels different to me and everyone else. So this kind of gives us the right feel that we want in terms of smoothness, in terms of a good transition, and in terms of a good follow through.
And especially, at least for me, it's almost like an assisted stretch.
Yeah.
You know, I might just be going here, but it's going to make me go from here just a little bit more to get me some more range of motion.
There we go. So then let's go ahead and grab your driver. So then when we swing the driver, even though the driver by comparison is a little longer,
right?
And we got the Orange Whip, the medium-sized one, because we didn't want it too long. The longer one can promote a little bit more of an around swing, which we wanted to get away from. This is the shorter one, and it helps up. We can pick it up and be a little more upright, which is going to help our swing because we don't want the club down here, right? We don't want it low below our shoulder. We kind of want it up high over our shoulder, and that's something we talked about too. And that's part of that turn and stretch, right? We're getting these hands high. And that's going to help us create a lot of speed coming down, a lot of power. Our hands can move further, the club moves further, and we now have more time to add that really valuable speed.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a few swings with the driver. And we're just trying to feel that same nice smooth tempo. It's a little more difficult because the club is not as heavy. Right? It's a little lighter, so we don't have that same feel. There you go.
Get the sound though.
Got the good whoosh.
And it helps me from this.
Right, we're not chopping wood.
Because I can't do that.
You can't chop wood. It's too heavy to chop wood with, right?
I would hurt myself.
Yeah, so just a few swings, and I think one of the other things is one of the other ways that's a really useful tool is let's say you can't hit balls. Let's say you're doing something. Maybe the weather's terrible. It's winter. It's cold. It's raining a lot. You can still swing that in your garage. Maybe in the backyard if you can't make it out to the course that day, or you haven't been out for a few weeks, you've been really busy. You can just do 10 to 15 swings with that, you know, once or twice a day. We talked about frequency is more important than, you know, 3 hours of practice is not the same as 3 hours spread out over multiple days, you know, versus one session. So even though it's, you know, that's still not the same as hitting balls, that's still allowing your body to move and be and build good habits and good patterns to be successful. And that really will help us increase that frequency.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, using it at home.
Yeah, well, you can use it at home. That's the really good thing. You like for your driver to get good feedback, because it's so like you really need a ball.
Right.
Right? If not, if you're just swinging that around at home, you can get into some bad habits and the face can get off. That, we don't have to worry about it, but we can feel our body move. We can work on that sequencing we talk about, getting our body firing in the right order. It's useful for a lot of things, and that's why we recommended it. And I think you've seen that it's been helpful. You like the feel it creates, and you've been hitting some really good drives with it.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. So that's a really good training aid to keep using going forward. We may use it less going forward once we feel like we've hit our goal, but we want to use it to maintain, right? It's harder to improve than maintain. So once we've kind of hit where we want in terms of tempo and club head speed, we're going to work to maintain that, which means we won't have to use it quite as much.
Okay.
And then we can focus on doing some other things.
Perfect.
Awesome. Great job.
Thanks. I never thought about that at home.